He's going to do a small talk about the KDE team and why it's the best team we have in Gentoo.
Okay, so hello guys. Even though I'm giving the KDE talk, formally Dilfridge, the ex-KDE lead, was supposed to do it, so excuse any differences between mine and his presentation. So first, introduction, who the hell am I? So, I am currently second term council member. I took 1 year vacation from that task. I am a KDE team member still. Don't know how that happened. Suddenly I popped up back in the head XML file. I was lead for a year. So, currently I am only maintaining LibreOffice in Gentoo. That's pretty easy task, sometimes. And formally I also worked on the areas I wrote in the presentation. Also currently I am employed at SUSE, working at L3 QA maintenance, handling maintenance updates for SLE-based products. So what's KDE? I suppose I put a really nice description of the desktop environment. It's fun Qt-based environment. It's really pretty and configurable, and it's perfectly bloated by database usage. You have to keep two databases, Virtuoso and MySQL. So, how to make it actually usable and not such a pain like running the MySQL and everything. So, we in Gentoo do semantic desktop use flag, which allows us to remove Nepomuk and Akonadi. And we also provide old-time pre-Akonadi KDE PIM packages. I'm not sure if they are usable. Is anyone using them by any chance? KDE PIM 4.4. Is it working? Okay, so it's working. Awesome. And we all make this fun running on Hardenit. So for Hardenit, you should get your hand on Hardenit guys over there to explain you what it's so fine and shiny. So, how can you run KDE? You can use desktop or KDE profile, where desktop profile enables both GNOME and KDE use flags, and KDE, of course, enables only the KDE ones. If I'm correct, you will remove use flags like GTK proof in KDE profile and stuff like that. You still have to enable DivizKit and ConsoleKit use flags, even though if you would not like to, you still should for working USB plug deving and proper login management. And you should also select the packages you actually want. Nobody wants whole KDE meta. Nobody. Oh, I put emphasis here. So KDE meta is not really welcome. You actually install everything from KDE brand that's based on their release schedule. So if they release 4.8.7, you install KDE meta. You get everything from games to accessibility tools like helping visually impaired and stuff like that. The base meta is a basic package, which consists of packages that are needed for compilation of almost everything. And runtime meta, GDBase runtime meta is a package which contains everything that's needed to run any applications within KDE environment. So if you are only using KDE apps in Fluxbox or whatever else, you probably need only KDE-based meta. But if you want to use actually the basic KDE, you need the runtime meta. Actually, there are plenty of those meta packages, and for those who still know what's sets, we also provide sets for each meta package. But they are not so propagated like they did 4 years ago. Okay, interesting use flags. Semantic desktop, that's the thing nobody wants. Or actually, is anyone using semantics desktop for something useful in this room? I see Jorge really hard trying to explain his opinion on this matter. So yes, the only good use case I so far found of semantic desktop and all the Nepomuk database magic, you get translation memory. So if you are translating stuff, it's really fast when you get the suggestions for your translations. And you this Gentoo program, you luckily disable the dependency over these tools. Since it's all done by thereapos, it's just runtime dependency we have there. So, stable. It's a bit older than the latest released version. I think current release version is 4.9.2 and we have 3.8.5 at stable. So we are one generation behind, but 4.9 is still quite a buggy. And usually the upstream gives us one new version each month, unless they are unlucky and they just skip in the schedule. We usually take for the first stabilization versions like 4.something.3, and once we actually took .4 because it was really broken release. So testing, we always provide the 0-day bumps. So we get the packages 1 week before the release, and we can play with them and see how broken they are. Usually they are. And we then have a nice script in Bash, which consists from 2,000 lines of weird Bash I wrote 4 years ago. And from what I noticed, nobody is touching that script anymore. So whenever that breaks, we will have a lot of fun. And upstream has a weird release policy, at least for me, because they release the packages with known regressions, which I don't like at all. So, overlay. We have fancy KDE overlay, which is open for any contributors. And as it's on Gentoo infrastructure, each developer can commit whatever he wants there, just for you to know. Usually there are live versions and from master branch, this is what will be in the next release. Like we have 4.10, so there will be 4.11. That's what master is for. And currently produced branch, so we have 4.10. So this is 4.10.49.999, which is supposed to explain that it's from branch 4.10 and it's live e-build. The 49 is there because KDE team starts releasing beta versions from .50 version of the previous Meyer version. So you get 4.10.50 as a beta for 4.9. That's not what I would expect. What I put there? Oh, overlay is the place where all development is done. It's preferred course of action to actually do the change on the overlay, see how much people cry, and then move it to the main tree if it's stable enough. In the branch e-builds, you usually get just the bug fixes faster than in the release. And live e-builds, it's where everyone is touching and playing with it, and it breaks quite often. So, what can you do for KDE? You can join our large KDE channel, Gentoo KDE on free.net, and tell us your secret plan for KDE. You can clone up the overlay repository and start messing with live stuff, or even with the stable stuff. You can put e-builds there and tell us, this is broken for me, can you fix it? Move it to the main tree. We can do that. And fire Bugzilla and close bugs. I don't know what's the number now for debugs, but I prefer for it to be really low. So 100 is perfect amount of open bugs. So please help us closing them. So Ago, one of the Gentoo developers, which is from ARC teams, now started KDE stable project. It's completely new and shiny, and its focus is on stable users, because currently we didn't do any pre-stabilization testing of KDE. So we basically tried if it compiled and looks at least running when you start it from stable profile, but nobody actually did full-time testing, like running this application, seeing if it breaks or crashes or whatever. So this team will be just something between ARC testers and testing team, and they will just test all the packages that are marked for destabilization. We don't need anybody much knowledgeable for this task. He just needs to use stable system. And what I put there more? Oh. Okay. And now, is anyone watching the KDE releases and know about KDE 5? Nobody. Okay, that's something I didn't expect. Okay, so KDE 5 will have completely changed infrastructure, and it will need complete rewrite of almost everything. We currently have entry huge e-classes for KDE 4, which will be completely useless for KDE 5. So those we put together 4 years ago will go to scratch, and we will start again, because they plan to provide finally split packages with the same versions, if I remember correctly. So, what? But he's too lazy, can you see it? Okay, so what else could I tell you for KDE 5, since I expected this to be the discussion? Give him the mic.
So Thomas, about the snapshots and live rebuilds, one thing that has changed since around 4.8 is that KDE changed the repositories, and they decided to close trunk. So currently the 4.8.49 packages don't actually work, since they aren't doing work on master. But that's something they change upstream, so we are adjusting to that.
Actually, if I'm right, Jorge, only KDE Libs.
Yeah, sorry.
KDE Libs is work like this.
It's the only one that was closed.
Which is basically awesome idea, since you don't get any features like uPower 2 or the new device kits and stuff like that.
And we're again waiting and hoping that KDE frameworks, KDE 5 is not going to be the same thing as KDE 4, because it wasn't the best experience for everyone. And it's starting to lag off, contrary to what was the initial idea.
Okay, so for what else could I tell you for KDE 5? They plan to release full Plasma Active, so it should run on tablets, which is it can do even now. If you happen to have a hardware which you can boot actual Linux and not only Android. What they plan else? And one of the major tasks they are doing for KDE 5 is moving everything from KDE Libs to Qt, which should be probably done already, since Qt 5 is supposed to be released, or already is released, I don't know yet. So, stuff to learn from. So I put 3 links where we have resources about KDE. We have a nice wiki page, which was moved recently from our project page on Pro EN Desktop KDE. So anyone can contribute there and fix our typos and errors in the guide. And also the link for the overlay. So, now please ask the normal questions, not just the KDE 5 ones.
Do you know some future with the KDE PIM?
Some future for the KDE PIM?
Yeah, because I don't know how much people here using the recent version, and I think it's not some usable thing.
Okay, so KDE PIM. Yeah, I can talk about it for a bit. So currently in stable we have the 4.8.5, and that version can work pretty well if you have one mail and you don't use any local filters. Then it's working. If you add more mails, like me, I added my work mail, my Gmail account, and my Gentoo account. Then I have to restart the mail every other day, because Akonadi crashed. And I can actually, thanks to Hardened, watch when it crashed, because it has nicely locks. Future for KDE PIM, there is one guy working on the bugs, but, as I said, one guy. And KDE PIM is huge. So the answer is maybe they will get it at least comparable to 4.4 around 4.11, but really don't know. One guy working on it. Any more questions?
Do you have any Plasma Active machine here?
I don't have Plasma Active machine, but actually anyone with KDE installed has Plasma Active because we built Plasma Active by default. So he should just switch the provider to Plasma Active. So if anyone has laptop with KDE and wants to do it. Okay, Jorge is again moving with his head. He's so negative today. I would try to show it up on my laptop later on if somebody is interested, but I have a Sabai on there and I'm not sure how much they messed up with the packages.
Yeah, just so if anyone wants to try it, I noticed that the Fedora guys have, or Yardar actually has a tablet here with Plasma Active.
Okay, so
if they want to try it out on a touch screen, they can.
Actually, it works quite well. I've seen it in operation already. It's pretty decent compared to some other projects that are providing touchscreen interfaces. For example, I tried the GNOME 3 on touchscreen, and they have this fancy bug you can see on our booth at SUSE. If you go to the KDE one, you can open the virtual keyboard, it pops up, you can type the sentence, press enter, and it shows down and disappears, the keyboard. So you're like, what? How do I open it? Move the mouse around, finger around, nothing happens, because the keyboard can be opened up back again only by keystroke. That's a brilliant idea. So, any more questions? Anyone?
Okay, thank you, Tomáš.
You are welcome.
So we can have a 10